Finally, the video you've all been requesting and asking about. What's in my plein air bag and how can I fit it all in one bag? Let's go find out.
Windows down, we sing along. The summer night has just begun.
Welcome everyone! I am Elisa of Elisa Laporte Art, and today we are going to talk about what is in my plein air bag. You see people who have their easel in one hand, a bag with all their paints, maybe another container with other paints, your paper or canvases strung over one shoulder. It's a mess and it's a lot, and it makes plein air painting very discouraging. So how can we limit the amount of supplies and the amount of bags that we carry them in to make it more fun and accessible to just pick up your bag and go when the feeling strikes you? If you like this video and would like to see more like it, as well as reviews and tutorials, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm actually going to show you three, yes that's right, 3 plein air setups that fit your budget, time, and size restraints. First up, my sketchbook. This is a moleskin and I really love it. And a pen. When I started this sketchbook, I gave myself the challenge to only use a pen, no pencil. That way I couldn't spend all the time erasing my mistakes and trying to perfect it. I just had to go for it. I also recommend using a mechanical pencil. It's easy, you don't have to worry about sharpening anything, and you just have to bring extra lead to fill up, or make sure you have lead already filled up in it. The next thing is an eraser and a kneaded eraser. You need both, they're great, and I love them. I would bring a 6B pencil or a 3B. It still gives you quite a bit of range in your values, so you can go from really light to really dark with just one pencil. The only problem I've run into with needing a pencil is you do also need a sharpener. You need something to sharpen that pencil as it gets dull, especially if you're planning on sharpening a lot, which is why I prefer having my mechanical pencil. That way I'm not worrying about sharpening it. Do I need a garbage? It's one less thing I have to put in my bag. It's great and ready to go. When picking out a sketchbook, I tried to make sure it would fit inside a bag that I already had. I love this one because it is bound and not spiral bound, so your pages are not going to smear if they rub and move. And I love this strap because it keeps everything protected in my bag. Having this sketchbook with me at all times has given me opportunities I would never have thought to have had, like when I was stuck at a car dealership for 4 hours waiting for my car to be repaired. I was able to do this sketch and get some work done in the meantime. Life presents itself with many opportunities for us. We just need to be ready for them, and this is a way for us to do that. Bag number 2, you might have seen this one already. It is my travel kit, though I had a different bag before. This is my new and upgraded one for now. I did another video going over everything in this bag. If you would like to see that and haven't, I will leave a link in the card above. I only added a few new things from the comments that were left below, and I thank you and appreciate your advice. If you're traveling and you don't want to limit your paper size, you can always use a block pad. They're great for traveling and come in many sizes. Number 3 is the one you've all been waiting for. It's my big plein air art bag. So the first and most important thing when getting your plein air setup is having the right bag. I made sure to get a bag that had a square top so I wouldn't have to worry about my pages getting damaged. This allows me to put everything in nice and neat and have a place. It's a Timbuktu, and I will leave a list down below. It has straps here that I can connect it, so if I'm hiking or anything, it's gonna stay on me. It's not gonna fall off. It's cushioned back here and it's very breathable. It has straps here that you can actually hang things from. I actually have a carabiner here. It has straps here that you can hold things with. Here, place for your water bottle if you want to drink. It closes like so, as well as having Velcro. It also has Velcro along here, I guess, if you have anything you need to attach there. And then it has a front pocket here. Inside here, it has another pocket for extra stuff in there. And then it has this smaller pocket here where you can hold things. I actually have some screws, which you will find out what those are for in a minute. Places for pencils if you want. I keep erasers, different things like that. So let's go over what I have first, and then I will put everything in there for you. So you can see how nice and neat everything fits in. It's not like I'm cramming things in there. They really do fit nice and neat. The first thing I have that is very important is my tripod. As you can see, very lightweight, small tripod, but yet it is still big enough for what I need. It's actually quite tall. You just hold the legs this way, like that, and then you twist these to get the legs out, and then it will stand as tall or as short as you need. I love that the legs are adjustable because when you're out plein air painting, you never know what kind of terrain you're gonna have, and sometimes rocky or rough terrain, you can adjust them to the size that you need so that your easel is always level. And it also has this part up here which is adjustable, so I can turn it whichever way I want, and down and up. So my husband and my father-in-law created this setup for me. This has the attachment here. So I just connect this and tighten it on. And then, like I showed you with this other knob here, I can adjust it. Now I have the start of my setup for plein air painting. And I'm going to actually let down some of these so I can attach my other stuff to it. So this was the first part. This allows me to have my paintings on this. These right here, these black strips, those are Velcro. And I have the other side of the Velcro on this very lightweight, credible artboard. I cut it down into small sizes that I wanted. These ones are big enough for 11 by 14, anything smaller than 11 by 14. And so I put the other side on it, and then I can attach it to my board. And it's really sturdy. I got the industrial Velcro so that it's not gonna come off very easily. As you can see, you have to really pull it off. So the wind is not going to blow it off. You can put it this way if you like to work vertical. I can put it this way, whether I'm left-handed, right-handed, whichever way I want. That's the beauty of this. I actually have two of them, and then I can sandwich them together this way and put them in my bag. I have thought about getting some more of these that are that right side and putting that on it to create it, not because it's lighter, because it is actually slightly heavier than this, but it's a lot narrower. So when putting it in my bag, it will take up less space. Even though these do work, and they work great right now. So I haven't really made that change yet. So I have that. I'll put this one back on here so I can show you the whole setup. And then we made these that connect on to my tripod. Okay. So you can see, I think I put it on the wrong tube, but you'll get the idea. So I connect it here, and then those screws I showed you earlier, these screws attach into holes that are on both sides. I can use both boards if I need the space, or I can just use one. So I can take off one of these and just use one if I don't want to attach them, or I can put this one back on and just attach it. So I have a nice place to work. Then I can put on my paint, my water cup, and pull out my palette. I have all my brushes here, and I can either set those on here and usually grab the brushes that I want. And then I wear this apron, which has pockets in it, and I actually stick all of my brushes and the water bottle in my pocket, so they're right there where I need them. I'm not going to worry about them falling on the ground, getting dirty. I know where everything is. I like the least amount on here as possible, just because it can be bumped, the wind, if the wind comes up, I don't want things falling. Or if you're in the busy city like I've been sometimes, you have a lot of people coming by, and I don't like leaving my stuff just out there. I like keeping it as close to me as possible. So having an apron where I can stick my brushes in, I even stick in toilet paper and paper towels. I also have this tea towel that I use to wipe down my brushes, but that one's usually sitting here, or I wedge it in between here so it doesn't blow away, and then I have a place to dry my brushes off. This one's usually for things that I'm dabbing on here. That's why I have those. The water bottle is to spray your paints because you want to saturate them with water before you start painting. As you can see, I need to clean my palette up from the last time I went painting. I love this one. It does have this thumb hook right here, so when I'm painting, I'm not worried about me falling. And I usually hold it instead of putting it on here. Just, that's my preference, because I'll be looking at the colors and moving it. So that's why I said sometimes I use both of these, sometimes I just use the one, because I need a place to hold my water or the few things that I might need on there. Sometimes I do set this down as I'm sketching and other things. I don't always keep it in my hand. The other thing I like to bring with me is a bag of salt in case I want to create textures on my paintings. I just keep it in a baggie, which we'll show you. I can put that in one of these pockets. That fits into our pocket. Our screws I keep in this pocket. This one also has a zippered pocket, which I have tape. I have kneaded erasers and a regular eraser. That way I keep all of those in there and they don't fall out. The other thing I keep with me is I took 2 pieces of cardboard and just taped them together, and it works great to store and keep all of my paper, different sizes, keeps it clean, keeps it from bending or folding or anything. This has been great. It's a great, cheap, easy way to store your paper. Now that is going to be the first thing that I stick in my bag here. I'm going to just slide that in, as you can see. I made sure I measured the cardboard to make sure that it would fit inside the bag. That is something you want to remember as you're doing all of this. No matter what size of bag you get, make sure you get the bag first. Then measure your boards and your project stuff to the size of your bag. I really liked this one because it is nice and big, and I can do the 11 by 14 sizes, which are a great size for plein air painting. And you would just tape your painting to this. And the nice thing about it, where you have 2, when you're finished with your painting, if it's still drying, you can just sandwich it between the 2 and it'll keep it nice and flat It'll keep it safe from any kind of damage. Also, if you are done and it is dry, you can add it in here to keep it safe. That is one thing I really like about this whole setup. It keeps my painting safe from being damaged, from getting any kind of spots or paint or other things that can happen and go wrong when you're plein air painting. Now I'm going to take these two off. And I actually keep the Velcro on opposite sides just so it's less bulky right down here. And I'm going to stick those on top. The other thing I keep with me is a very lightweight small sketchbook because I do all my thumbnails and everything that I need to prepare myself for the painting I'm about ready to do. It's better to just sketch things out first, and then if you really like how that is turning out, then you can set up. It usually takes me about 5 minutes to set everything up, not a lot of time. It's really great. This I keep in that back pocket, just so it's separated from everything else and I can always find it because it's the first thing I'm gonna pull out of my bag when I'm going plein air painting as I'm sketching. All my pencils and brushes in here. It doesn't look like I have a lot, but that's because I have some travel brushes that you can switch around. So I have quite a few of those in here, so I do have them. I have a range of really large ones and two more fine brushes. So I have my whole range of brushes here. I even have a ruler just in case I need that. You can find them in most art stores. They're fairly inexpensive. We're not going to put that in just yet because I'm going to put all of this in. I want to put all of the flat things in first. So we can take this off. So it comes off really easy. Let's just take these off. See how quick and easy that is? And then I will set these in there. So you can see how nice everything fits. This one I stick actually in the back. Here. And I still have quite a bit of room in there. Now I'm going to add my brushes. Just store that along the side there. I will roll up my apron and stick that in there right alongside my brushes. Then I will stick in my palette and my water cup. The other thing I like to keep is a tube of gouache because I will use those sometimes for accents, just in case I lose some of those whites when I'm out there plein air painting. I can take some fresh gouache and add that. That will go into this little zippered pocket as well. And then I can put my water bottle. I either keep it in one of these pockets or you can put it in this front pocket. This front pocket I've actually reserved for some garbage bags. I have a large one and a small one because if you pack it in, you pack it out. And sometimes when you're plein air painting, I find garbage around me, and so I always pick it up and pack it out with me, just because I don't want to leave it there. I also put my rag in there, and I can store my toilet paper and paper towel. Now, if you have more toilet paper and paper towels than that, you can actually still fit them in this part of the bag. There is room. I've actually fit a half of a paper towel roll in here and it fits nicely. There's still quite a bit of room. The other thing I always keep with me in one of my pockets is my business card. It will have all my information, so if by some chance I lose my bag, hopefully somebody will be honest and give it back. Or you just never know if, you meet somebody, you can give them your information. This we will fold up and put away. My husband calls this my Mary Poppins bag because I can fit so much in there for my painting. See? Nice and small. And it has a place right here. I'll show you. You can see everything. See how it all fits in there. And I still have quite a bit of room right there. Now, you're thinking about water. How do I pack in my water? You do have this pocket right here on the side for drinking water or a water bottle. However, I found these to be my favorite way to carry my water. I actually have one for drinking water and one for, well, either extra drinking water or water for watercolors. So I have everything in there except for my water. Still have room for a snack if you need, if you plan on being gone for a lot longer. So everything fits here snug as a bug. Still actually has some room. And then that carabiner I told you about, I can clip my water bottles right here to it. I actually can clip both of them on there. The 34 ounce. So we have a nice amount of water. You can carry as many or as few as you want. I carry 2 just to be on the safe side to keep me hydrated because you are out in the sun. Remember that when you're plein air painting, generally you're going to be out in the sun. It's going to be hot. Unless you go in the winter time, then you're freezing. Remember to wear the appropriate attire for plein air painting. The other thing to remember when plein air painting, if it's in the summertime or the springtime and you're going to be out there for several hours, pick a place where you can stand in the shade, and the shade, as the sun moves, is going to keep you shaded for several hours. You don't want to be in a spot where you're in the sun and it's shining on you and you end up sunburned. So, I'm ready to go. All I have to do is flip these over on this side so they're not on me. Put my bag on. You can clip it here to make sure it doesn't fall off. Voila, you have everything you need to go plein air painting in just one bag. I hope you give this a try, and I would love to see what plein air setups you have. Let me know if I forgot anything in the comments below. I hope this helps as you start or are continuing with plein air. Question of the day: where would you like to go plein air painting? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and to click that bell so you can be notified when I do a tutorial reviewing metallic watercolors. And until next time, keep on painting.